companies went from 25,000 new lines of code a month to 250,000 new lines of code a month.
They're productive. AI is creating a lot of technical debt, and if you're not understanding what it's doing, you're probably adding a lot of layers you don't need. You redid the Angular UI, and that was about 180,000 lines of code that we couldn't never review. We put more priority on human interaction. So our QA department, who has to manually go through the user interface and test every component.
They're actually testing PRs before they merge.
Yes.
Instead of waiting until we're like, oh, we got some software, we're thinking about releasing some software next week. Now they're testing individual changes before they make it in. I made a set of several thousand tests to test our entire user interface entirely automatically.
We would still pick up another 40, 60, 80 additional bugs despite those tests being correct. AI, as we all know, kind of hypes and gaslights itself. So when it's seeing these failing tests as a developer, it's just correcting the test to pass to make you happy.
It runs the tests fail, and it says those failures are existing failures that had nothing to do with my changes.
Exactly.
I'm going ahead. Like, there were no failures before you touched the code.
Could you imagine a human developer saying that? We'd be like, what? We'd be like, finish your ticket.
Back in April, we tested the AI stuff. We had a hackathon. I took all the Speedify documentation and turned it into a RAG database, built a bot. In the end, I decided AI completely overhyped. It doesn't work. And we left it alone for 6 months. And in November, it was like, holy cow. And now looking back at what we had in November, what were we thinking, right? It is so much better. I am so scared at this rate of where we're going to end up. So also related, the Claude source code got released. The connection between the AI and all your development tools and all your source code. Thoughts on that?
My first thought was the security. We're trusting AI and Claude with all of our expertise and knowledge and security and coding, and they're fumbling and releasing their own software by accident.
Code is a mess.
From a standpoint of like a developer.
You'll see the same thing coded up literally 12 different spots in the code. Does it matter? Claude Code is probably the greatest app ever made.
I do love it. But if you read it, it looks like they have like a...
what if when you look at the source code, it looks like garbage? It works.
It sounded like they didn't really understand how to control what they've created. Like a dog on a leash, it looks like they had like 5 different leashes on it. When it's telling you, please don't break the law, that's a weird thing to put.
I like there's special code in there. If you start cursing at it, it goes into this other mode where it realizes, like, I've been doing a bad job. And I'll be honest, I had been using that before I knew it existed.
I curse at it too.
Only when it messes up really badly.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
WTF is good enough.
You're being nice to Claude.
Yeah, that's not what I say. But yeah, you start cursing at it, it goes into this other mode where it realizes it's been doing a bad job, and so it spends longer thinking and stuff. Tell it to be in a bad mood.
Yeah.
You're a code reviewer in a bad mood.
Yes.
Look at this code and find the flaws instead of asking if this code's any good.
Yes.
Right? Is this code any good? It's like, sure, you did a great job. You say, all right, pretend you're a code reviewer in a bad mood. What's wrong with this? And then suddenly it finds 10 things and 9 of them are right. For a long time, I was running Claude and Codex and telling Codex to check Claude's code and saying, I had Claude write this code, find any weaknesses. And I realized that you can just start another Claude conversation and say, I had Codex write this code. And you pointed at what Claude wrote.
Did at any point did it settle on this code is fantastic, there's no more flaws, or would it keep going back and forth?
No, it reached a point where it started saying this code's pretty good. There are a few minor things I would change.
Ship it at that point.
Well, they talked about that breakdown point where, if you let the AI keep doing sloppy code, someday you reach the point where every time you tell the AI to fix something in your code, it breaks 4 things. A spiral of death.
Yep.
So you got to kind of fight the power and go through. I've got some prompts I run on our source code occasionally, looking for slop, looking for tests that always pass, looking for tests that are just checking that the defaults come up with the default value.
Yeah, we don't need that.
Looking for functions that are no longer called.
Having these AIs go in and say, look, I could do 2 weeks of cleanup in 2 prompts.
A lot of times we'll end out with PRs with thousands of lines of code. We've been very much based around that, like every PR must be reviewed by a human being. But now things are getting so big.
Yes.
It's becoming impossible to look at.
Yes. Which is the scary part.
Right now, it's at this magical stage where, like, I tell the AI what I want it to do. It does it. I look at it. I say, this is wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. And then it fixes it. And then I have something great. It's great because on one hand, I'm, like, getting lazy. On the other hand, like, my wisdom is still valuable here. I feel more important than I ever have. But if it gets as much better as it did since a year ago, will it need me anymore? I guess the editorial voice is becoming more and more important. It's not that code has any value anymore. It's a taste does, deciding which code we're bundling together to give our customers. Did you see Claude's announcement? New version of Claude for finding security problems.
Mythos.
They're starting with like a closed beta. They're giving it to Microsoft. They're giving it to Amazon. We put together something. We gave Claude fuzzing tools and access to our source code and told it to find security problems. And it found some stuff. When the new AIs come out that find old security problems in software, there's going to be a crazy 90 days. But after that, no one will release software without putting it through that. And we'll finally have some secure software. Kernighan gave that speech where he revealed that he had taken a C compiler and modified it so that when you built code with it, it would stick secret security flaws into your code. And if you used it to compile a C compiler, it would modify the C compiler to put in this code to put the security weaknesses in it. So even if you took the source code to a C compiler, read and said there are no security flaws with this, if you then built that code with his evil C compiler, you got the security flaw. All right, that you end up with this chain of trust, and if there's anyone you trust who isn't trustworthy, there's almost no way out of it.
I feel like that's where we're headed, but with the entire world putting their code in these machines.
Now that you can have Claude actually control your web browser, like go through the user interface, can it find the bugs?
It gives you another set of junior eyes to find bugs. Would I ever trust the AI to completely say, hey, look, here's my changes that you made, go in the browser, test those changes, and let's release it? I would never do that.
Straight to the customer.
Yeah, never. I'm sure it works for some people, but that's not where AI is at this point, in my opinion.
Core engine of bonding internet connections should be reliable enough that people can bet their lives on it. It really needs to be perfect. But our user interface,
that's a different story.
Even though it's bundled in the same app, this is a different story. We should be playing here more. You know, I told AI, go ahead and make me tiles with the different graphs. And it did it, and I thought it was awesome, and we checked it in.
I think us as more of a senior engineering department can utilize agents and code and be more productive because we know the framework that the code needs to go in. It's a totally different case that if we were starting from scratch to let this AI say, go make Speedify, and we all just hop on board. I would be against that.
Yeah. In conclusion, I want you to subscribe for more tech talks like this.